Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be discussing about this transfer window for Major League Soccer. This has been a huge transfer window for the MLS. When Lionel Messi first signed with Inter Miami, many people expected that the MLS will raise their salary cap, more stars will come into this league, but we have to wait about 2 seasons for some stars to finally come into this league. It is better late than never. I know when Lionel Messi first came into this league, it was kind of annoying. These 2 years that he's been so far with Inter Miami, that the MLS hasn't done anything to drastically improve the league. But with some stars finally entering the league, there's some promising signs that maybe some changes will come. And today we're going to be talking about all of this. So let's get to this video. But before we continue, I'd like to tell you guys to like and subscribe, because it is very important that you guys like and subscribe so you guys can never miss another video. Alright, so let's get on with the video. First, let's talk about the signing of Rodrigo with Inter Miami. He left Atletico Madrid. He is still a very good player, I'm going to tell you that. He is basically in his prime. Rodrigo De Paul is a bona fide starter for the Argentina national team. I bet you Lino Scaloni cannot find a midfield where he cannot put in Rodrigo De Paul. De Paul is an irreplaceable player for the RB Celeste, and I bet you even after signing with Inter Miami, I still think he's going to be a starter for the RB Celeste. And that's all I need to say about how huge this signing is. You're bringing someone who's a bona fide starter in the midfield for the reigning world champions and the reigning two-time Copa America champions. You're basically bringing him in his prime to play in your league, to play in one of your biggest markets. This is a huge win for Major League Soccer. And for Inter Miami, you're bringing in an energetic midfielder. I know Sergio Busquets, he has a lot of quality in playmaking and in his ability to basically make players miss in a very genius way. He is a genius, Sergio Busquets, but he is not going to run up and down the field. Rodrigo De Paul is going to be doing that for him. Although he is 31, but he's still a very energetic player, and he is a player who's going to be giving 110% every single game. And considering the World Cup is a year out from now, and he is a bona fide starter for Argentina, I don't think that's going to change from Rodrigo De Paul. Next, let's talk about Thomas Muller to the Vancouver Whitecaps. This isn't a done deal yet, but it is very close to it. I think the Whitecaps will announce this deal this week. Mark my words. I think this deal will get done this week. I think this is a very good signing for the Whitecaps. I know Thomas Muller isn't the player he used to be like in 2015, but he is still a decent player and he can make the difference in Major League Soccer. And I think this is a very good addition for a team that is doing very good in MLS this season. I think the Whitecaps need a playmaker to be a real contender for the MLS Cup, and I think Thomas Muller is the perfect player for the Vancouver Whitecaps at this point of their season. I think their other two midfielders, Kubas and Berhalter, are going to be two players that are going to be doing a lot of running. And I think Thomas Muller, all he needs to do is just to create. And with attacking options like Emmanuel Sabi, Jada Nelson, Brian White, although he is not a national team player, but he is still a very good striker for this Vancouver Whitecaps team. And this is without even mentioning Ryan Gault, who for these last couple of seasons was the star player for the Vancouver Whitecaps. I think this Whitecaps team will be having a very promising team with Thomas Muller coming into the picture. So yeah, I do think this is a huge signing for the Vancouver Whitecaps. And with all this being said, Vancouver isn't a huge market in Major League Soccer. It is not a Miami, a Los Angeles, a New York. It is not even a Chicago. So this is a huge signing for a small market team, and I think this signing fits this team very well. Last, let's talk about Heung Min Son being very close to finalizing a deal to sign with LAFC. This is going to be a very huge signing for MLS. Los Angeles is one of the biggest markets, if not the biggest market in Major League Soccer. and Heung Min Son is a very marketable player. So I think in bringing in viewers, this transfer is great. But outside of that, Heung Min Son still has some quality to him. I know he is not the same player as he was in 2019 when he reached the Champions League final with Spurs, but I do think he is still a very good player, and he is a bona fide starter for South Korea. So I don't think he's going to be coming into this league and just like not give a fuck. I think he's still going to be giving in 110% to make this league better. So I think this is a very good signing for LAFC. LAFC coming into this season, we all had our low expectations for them. They didn't really sign anybody, and they let a couple of players go. But after this summer transfer window, and after bringing in guys like Matthew Choinier to the team, I do think this LAFC team looks very promising heading into the latter parts of the season and going into the playoffs, as they're going to be having a new look offense led by Dennis Wonga, joined up by Heung Min Son, and comparing him to Olivier Giroud, who's more of a target man. I do think Heung Min Son fits better into the system, as he is a more dynamic player and a more mobile player when compared to Olivier Giroud. So I think this is a genius signing for LAFC. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.